Marriage is a very interesting relationship, and I'll explain to you why. Probably the most incredible relationship that someone typically would think of is a parent and child. And a parent and child, it's magical, it's beautiful. You love each other, and there's no ability, if you think about it, in a parent and child or in a sibling, there's no ability to ever somehow close that relationship. There's no end to it. Brothers, they could love each other, they could hate each other. They will always be brothers. Nothing they do could ever separate themselves inherently and say, we are no longer brothers. They may verbalize that, they may say that, they may live a life like that, but they will always be brothers no matter what. A parent and a child, the same is true. And yet when you think about it, in the relationship between a husband and wife, you can sever that relationship. You can end it. So on one hand, that is somewhat seen as a fault, if you like, in a marriage, that a marriage has an ability to end versus the relationship between a sibling or the relation between a parent and child. But truly, if you think about it deeply, the greater the risk, the greater the reward. You see, because you have an opt-out, because you have an ability to go out of it, you've also got an ability to make this relationship so much deeper. You see, a relationship between siblings will never have the fire, the passion, the love that a husband and wife will have, including the relationship between a parent and child. You could love each other so deeply, but there'll never be that level of love that exists between a husband and a wife. A husband and wife, that relationship, it is something which is an intrinsic bond. And the reason it's such an intrinsic bond is because you are choosing it every single day of your relationship. Every day you wake up and you say, I am choosing to be together. And that freedom of choice that allows you to choose your spouse every day, that is the secret of a successful marriage. Because every day you're redoing it. It's not something that just is, as in so many other relationships, but it's something I know I need to work on. It's something that I know every day I need to get engaged in it and get involved in it.
I don't think you're ever going to come into a place in your marriage where there's no struggles, because
Excuse me?
I think a marriage with no struggles is a dead marriage. I hate to say it, but I think life is evolving. And if we're just happy with the status quo and we're just staying how things are, it means we're not growing. We have to sometimes feel uncomfortable, and we have to sometimes go through struggles in order to grow. And I think our marriages are always going to be evolving. There's going to be new situations that come up, a new job, a new child in the home. Chas v'shalom, someone might have a death, there might be illness. There's always going to be new things coming up, and we have to embrace them and work with them and see them as opportunities and springboards for growth.
I do love what you said, Dina, because we are forever and ever growing. So every day we are a new person. And if we've just per se built this home and we say, okay, we've finally built this home, we're actually now living in the past. We're no longer living in the present, and we're no longer living in the future, because every day we're a new person and we need to have new dreams and aspirations. So the home that we built yesterday was wonderful and that was incredible for yesterday, but it's not going to suffice for today or for tomorrow. And tomorrow we're building a more beautiful home. So maybe we want to renovate again. Look how many people renovate every couple of years. Why do they do that? Because people feel they're a new person and the furniture that they had a few years ago was okay then. It just doesn't fit now. You ever look at photos of yourself of 10 years ago when you thought you looked great, which you always do, by the way, and you say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wore that 10 years ago. And it's true, because that was perfect 10 years ago. But no baby wants to go back into its mother's womb as comfortable as they were. Because as human beings, every single day, we need to evolve, we need to grow. And therefore, just because you've resolved your differences yesterday, today there'll be a new challenge. But it's not a negative. As I said before, it's an opportunity for growth. So yeah, keep rebuilding your home, keep expanding, keep having dreams, and never, ever stop dreaming in your relationship of what tomorrow could bring. And never be satisfied with your status quo from yesterday, because You're no longer that person that you were yesterday. You're a much better person. You're a much greater person.